Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Jake Jaboreli of Jaboreli.com. Just a bunch of referral links. So I've been absent from my channel a little bit lately. Partially it has to do with my day job. Partially has to do with a lot of research I've been doing in the meantime. And I do game occasionally and I got into a beta, so I've been spending a lot of time on that. Nevertheless, a lot of other things have been going on. That doesn't mean I'm not still doing a giveaway. And I realize that when I don't produce videos, I don't get as many subs, but we're still making progress. Last I looked, it was at 315, just that much closer to 500. But I can tell you this much, at the rate I'm going with this video that I'm going to talk about today, I wouldn't be surprised if I could offer you guys more. So, just as a reminder, give away 500 subs, 100,000, 50,000, 25,000 Satoshis to 3 lucky people who are subscribed to my channel. And let's get into the video. Oh, but one more thing. Use the Atomic Wallet because it pays you more than I pay you. It's a pretty good deal, honestly. Alright, back to the video. So, a while back, I spent a little bit of time looking at NiceHash, trying to figure out if it would be practical to buy some graphics cards. A long time ago, graphics cards would pay you a whole heck of a lot more, and if you buy the really expensive ones, they'll definitely pay you more. I think the 2080 Ti from NVIDIA is like almost $2 a day just for the one card, but the one card costs $1,000 US. The payback on that is a little long. Granted, the power usage is pretty low. So, I bought a couple of the ones that you see on the screen here, this AMD RX 474 gig. Now, there's a problem with these cards. They're a little out of date. I think they came out in like March of 2016. So they're not exactly new, about 4 years old, but they're still really powerful. And they're very good cards. Now there's newer stuff. You get the 570 or the 580 with 8 gigs. And the reason most people are going to that is because you can't really do hashing on Windows if you only have 4 gigs of RAM on your card. You need 8 gigs, or at least 6, but it is future proofing. So why would anybody want to buy these old 4 gig cards if you can't run the current hashing? Well, if you run NiceHash OS instead of Windows, which you have to pay for a license of Windows, not that you really have to pay for a license for Windows, but I mean, not because you can steal it, but because if you load it, Microsoft never gets on your case. I mean, they tell you, anyways, I'm not getting off track here. Using NiceHash OS, Linux OS that they built, NiceHash built, uses a slightly different VRAM. And without going into too much in the weeds here, it just basically means that you can continue to use these old cards as long as you use Linux. And you don't even have to know how to use Linux. All you got to do is download NiceHash Flash tool, put it on a USB flash card, plug it into the computer, and you're done. It boots up, runs itself. Pretty simple. So the problem I was looking at was, pardon me, that the cost of these other better cards, like the 570 and the 580, these are pretty expensive. Like $300, $400 a piece. Now you can get them used probably for $250, maybe $200 if you're looking on eBay or something. But these other cards, these 470s that I currently have, are going for less than $100. I got mine for $80 a piece. I have 3 of them. I thought that was a pretty good deal. Now, they don't produce as much, but let's just look at the comparative difference here. If I go down, you can see already at the 474 gig. Let's go to the 588 gig and see what it says. It's probably going to say above 70 cents. Yeah, there we go. So, 15 cents a day more. But without going in and doing all the math, and I'm not saying I couldn't, I already have, 15 cents a day extra per card, but paying twice as much, I think you can see the difference there. Even if you could find it, let's suppose you could get a 588 gig used for $200 instead of $100. Like I said, I paid $80. That's less than $100. Twice as much for only 15 cents per day more. I would expect if I were to pay twice as much for a card that it would net me $1.50 a day because it costs twice as much, right? Wrong. So the problem you run into is getting these more expensive cards doesn't really bring you more money. It can, it might, but as of right now, this is what it pays for that much more expensive card. So I kept thinking about, okay, where can I find these cards for cheap? eBay. Found them cheap, bought them, installed them. Now, I'm running, as you guys probably already know, but if you don't, Ryzen 9 3900X and an Intel Core i7 6700Q. It's DHQ or something like that, but the DHQ is a 3.4 gigahertz processor, 8 core, well, 4 core, 8 thread, and then the Ryzen 9 is a 12 core, 24 thread. It's much powerful, but the thing that's interesting about what NiceHash has done for me so far, let me drop over the profitability here in my dashboard, is it's ranging at the moment, this is the bottom, but it's ranging as high as $5 a day with just these two machines. So it's averaging out to something around $330 to $350 per day. Now, my initial calculation was based on, actually I don't even have it up here, but let's just say, how much was I making with just the Ryzen 9 doing Monero? It's doing about 6 a day, which was pretty good. And that's comparable to what this other one does. Back to the calculator here. About 0.61, I think. Last I looked at it was actually 0.57. So comparable. Now, if I bought one card, let's say I bought 3, I did buy 3. I'm only using 2, but speculatively, that would be times 3, right? Because you get the Ryzen 9 plus 2 more cards. Great, $1.80. Plus my read system, which is doing hardly anything on Monero. Pretty worthless, honestly. It was doing about 0.1. So it was, I would have estimated I would have got about $1.90, 1.9 US dollars per day. That's not what's happening. Now that I figured out the problems I was having and letting the cards run on their own, alright, now it's showing 0, but it's because it cycles up and down all the time. But what I calculated it to come out to be, as I said before, was somewhere between 5 and 1.58 at the moment. Obviously, the price fluctuates constantly. The amount of coin you can make fluctuates constantly. It's never going to be the same. But I was looking for an average. Well, what's an average? 330. But then you have to consider power, and that was another thing that I wasn't thinking about previously because I didn't think it was as relevant. Since I'm going to be running these machines all the time, right? Well, yeah, they suck up a little bit of power, and I can't really show you with easily here. No, it's not plugged in right now. These two machines together run about 500 watts, which isn't terrible, but it's probably twice what I was running before. Now, the cards themselves tend to run somewhere between 150 and 200 watts each, so it was definitely going to be adding more power. So how much does that cost? Well, assuming the standard, which is true, I live in a 0.1 dollars per kilowatt hour area, 0.5, 24 hours a day, times 0.1, $1.20. So 1.2 US dollars per day. Well, I'm making 3.3 minus 1.2. Hey, not bad. It's a third of the total amount of money I'm making per day is electricity. But what I was previously calculating it out based on the numbers that AMD, or pardon me, not AMD, NiceHash was showing me, I was going to be making, it was going to be a 1 to 4 ratio. So I'd be making 25 cents for every dollar, and this number has changed drastically. So I'm definitely not disappointed, actually rather surprised, pleasantly surprised. Now, does that mean the future will be, this will still be true? No, but the advantage I'm trying to point out with all this is that these cards, these AMD RX 474 gig, which are going out of style right now because no one can use them on Windows OS, Windows 10, work quite a bit better on NiceHashOS. And that's really kind of the point here. I didn't think I mean, I was using Windows 10 just because it was convenient so I could hash other things. I wasn't just dedicated to this one purpose. But the nice thing is, as long as you got the flashcards, which aren't that expensive in my experience, I think I got 5 of them for $30. A while ago, I've had them around. But I've got lots of other USB 3.0 drives, just for various reasons, for work and for home. So their estimate's actually wrong for what I'm getting right now. But when you use NiceHash OS, it gives you the opportunity to do things more than just Monero. What NiceHash will do is mine whatever's possible. They don't even have to think about what Windows OS will care about, because it doesn't matter at that point. You're not trying to get through a firewall. You're just letting NiceHash do whatever they want to do. Yeah, I guess it's true they could technically be making zombies out of my machines, but they're showing me what I'm getting in the dashboard. And so I'm not thoroughly disappointed. Thus far, let's see if I go to the mining here and look at the history. Yeah, it's going up pretty fast. This was what I did before I got these machines online, and this is what I'm doing now. So let me just shorten this up a bit here. So I've only been online, and I'm making this video like 2 hours after I get everything working. It's actually doing quite well. I mean, that was only 2 hours worth of work, and it got more than I got with all the other stuff by itself. So I'm not disappointed with this. You can see that, you know, the algorithm doing Dagger Hashimoto on both systems here. That's the cryptograph, but it called it Cryptograph OS and Read OS. And they're working quite well. You know, these are predicted amounts. Obviously, probably not going to be that high per year, but darn if it wouldn't be nice if it was. $1,800 a year for just these two machines? Pfft, I'll take it. But this is the high end. This is not what it stays at all the time. Yeah, see, it just went down. In any case, I guess what I wanted to report to everyone was mining isn't dead. There are other mines. This type of mining definitely is a much larger investment than what the rest of my channel has been talking about. But the main reason I've been going to this instead of hanging out with doing, you know, CryptoTab and Swamp, I'm still doing SwampCoin, but is the reliability. CryptoTab, it's too variable to be reliable. Per one of the comments on one of my videos, the guy said, looking at why are you only getting $2 a day off your CryptoTab? You're running 200,000 hash per second on CryptoTab. You should be getting like 10. Yeah, I should have been. That's why I bought the Ryzen 9 in the first place. But that was not to be, because that, as far as I can tell, and I'm not trying to accuse CryptoTab of anything, but they're not consistent. And even though I realize that even with mining on these cards is not consistent in the sense that it's not a non-stop exact same price as you go along. The difference herein is that it's more consistent as I'm always going to be getting the same kind of general, like I can see the numbers in front of me. I don't have to, measure it for 2 weeks to guess that maybe this is what CryptoTab is going to give me. Now, will CryptoTab work? Yeah, it will. But it's not really about, it's more of an MLM company, a multi-level marketing company that happens to involve the product as being mining on your PC, through the browser. And that is a way, but I mean, your actual income, even with, if you look at Crypto Insight, shout out Crypto Insight, if you look at his stuff, he's got 17 machines, all phones, running. And he's actually done pretty well, but most of what his income is coming from is from other people contributing to his network. That's not to say that I don't have a network set up for this, but my income off that is minimalistic comparatively. Now, of course, the buy-in is lower. You already have a computer, already have a phone, just use it. You're done. But I'm looking for something more consistent, something I can measure, something I can see, something I can manipulate. I have more control over, and honestly, in all cases considered, I make more money on. So, I'm looking at doing this much bigger. I'm looking at a place that's local to where I live here. Hopefully going to move all my equipment there. They don't charge me for power. Big win, because I've got a lot more equipment I like to use. And I'm going to see if I can get myself up to 10, maybe 12, hopefully $15 a day. We'll see. I will definitely keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching. Remember, when we hit 500 subs, Gonna do a giveaway. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.